Hello and welcome back. In this part 3 video, I will put the Windows 11 on a 4GB RAM old PC to the test and see if it can handle some major apps often chosen by users in web browsing, entertainment, web development, graphic design, and video editing. I will finally tell you the problems I faced, how I solved them, and share tips to make such low-end PCs perform better. Stay tuned. Just to confirm, this is the very same PC I installed Windows 11 on, and then slimmed it down so that it runs fast and smooth. Here is its processor, and here is its RAM. Here we have the Windows info. It's activated, and it's receiving Windows updates as well. While doing all this, the system is using around 3GB of the total RAM, leaving around 900 megabytes for new apps we may open. In addition to these apps you see on the desktop, I have already installed some apps which users frequently have on their PCs. Let me show you what I have in this. Here I have Microsoft Access, which is part of Microsoft Office Suite, Adobe Photoshop CC 2019, Audacity, one of the best audio recording and editing app, which is free and open source. Here is Brave, a highly recommended lightweight free web browser. Here I have Cyberlink PowerDirector 2026, a full-feature video editor, and these are part of the Microsoft Office suite, and so are these two. Here I have Visual Studio Code, a free cross-platform code editor from Microsoft. And finally, down here, I have Microsoft Word. It might seem that having all these apps on this old PC with Pentium 4 processor and just 4GB RAM is a disaster. But believe me, you will be surprised to see how these apps run in it. Just keep on watching. Shall we start with web browsing? Alright, let's open MS Edge. Here is how I searched for VS Code and downloaded it. The experience was decent. Even if it was not blazing fast, it was a decent, smooth ride. With the help of the Internet Download Manager, the download completed in just a few minutes. Let's now open a few social media sites. We'll start with Facebook, then TikTok, and then YouTube. See, with these 5 tabs open, RAM usage is 3GB, with around 800 megabytes remaining for additional tasks. If we want, we can have those social media sites as separate individual apps that we can download from Microsoft Store. And there, even in Microsoft Store, the experience has also been very smooth. Let's now run Microsoft Word and see how this PC performs. As you can see, I have installed Word as part of Microsoft Office 2021. Open a new document and write something. For demonstration purposes, this much is enough, I guess. Let's save it. I've also tried it with relatively larger file. I didn't notice any lag at all. I even saved the document in PDF format and opened it with Edge. And with 6 more apps running, the RAM usage is like this, as you can see. But if we close all other apps and leave Microsoft Word, RAM usage comes down to 2.7 GB. And that's very good. The File Explorer responds quick. Take for instance, in this folder we have PDF as well as doc files, a picture, and a Photoshop file. See this picture? It opens in Windows built-in Photos. See, it's actually the thumbnail I used for part 1 video in this mini-series. Here is a PDF book on React.js. I opened it with MSH and it responded quick. After installation, VS Code looks like this. Let me first try it with simple HTML. And it's working fine. Now try it with other projects with CSS and JavaScript. Here I have a lovely cloak and looks like this in the default browser. Another project of digital cloak looks like this in the default browser. Truly, the performance so far has been pretty decent. It's now time to test Photoshop on this PC. Can it run smoothly in this old PC with just 4 GB RAM? You may wonder, can it even open? Let's see. Here is the resource usage before we begin the app. We have 1.1 GB of available RAM. Open Photoshop. Although the initialization part took a bit long, it indeed opened. And here we are at the home page. Let's open a file in a new folder in desktop. This one. This is one of the thumbnails prepared for the part 2 video of this mini-series. Now I want to edit it and make the thumbnail for this part 3 video using Photoshop. I will edit the title, this part, and these ones as you witness it, and I will leave the rest as it is. Let me bring all this down here as I plan to have the title a bit longer. Beginning with the title, this is how I want it to read. Duplicate and edit it. Much better now. Now let me change these texts. Align these centers and distribute them vertically. Let me bring them a bit higher. That's much better. Now let me change this number to 3. I think having a question mark will be better somewhere here. Change its color. A bigger size would look much better. And bold, of course. Let me move it down here. Let's apply the effect of the title on it. And a gradient overlay identical to the color of the Windows 11 default desktop. That's better. Save it as a cover for this part 3 video. Let's have a look at it. It's saved here. And here it is. Let's open and see it full screen. I think it's good. While doing all this, with these apps running, the RAM usage has been about 3 GB, and that's remarkable. Here I have the famous VLC Player, a player that can play almost all audio and video formats. Let me play one of the HD videos that was prepared for another YouTube project. RAM usage before playing the video is 2.6 GB. See how smoothly it plays it? No lag, no clutter, no glitches. and still the RAM usage is only 2.8 GB. I also have Audacity here. Running it was also a smooth experience. I have recorded a clear audio without any loss or interruption, edited the audio, and applied some effects to it as per my liking, and exported it as MP3 file. And with all this running, the RAM usage is around 2.9 GB, and thus remarkable for the Windows 11 operating system on an old PC with just 4 GB of RAM. It's now time to try video editing using Cyberlink PowerDirector 2026. To tell you the truth, it's my favorite video editor, and I have used it to edit all of the videos I have so far published. As is expected from a video editor, it is a relatively resource-heavy app. I have closed all other apps at this point so that the app uses all the available memory of the PC. The RAM usage of the system at this moment is 2.3 GB. Open PowerDirector. Here we have the home page. Let's have a new project. And here comes the new project's workspace. Let's add some clips from screen recordings in video. Select these two. Both these clips show the slimmed Windows 11 on 4 GB RAM getting latest Windows updates. I have added both to the timeline. I'm going to add a title, do some cutting, rearranging and deleting, and add transitions, overlay, and templates, and export the final work, and see how the system handles these tasks. Let me use this title type. Change the title to Witness Slimmed Windows 11 Get Latest Update. Let's make the text a bit larger and center align it, and the title plays like this. This much of the video is enough to show the update process, so I slice it here. Moving to the second clip, let's see what it has. This is a Windows 11 update history page, and it is appropriate to show this part first, and then follow it with the PC getting that particular update. So select few seconds of it, make a slice, select this part and cut, get to the beginning, and paste it. Now get rid of unwanted excess, because this much is enough, I guess. Make another slice here, and delete the unwanted parts. Let's add an overlay. And I like this one. Good. Let's now add some transitions. This one here, then this in here, and this one here. Let's add a template to use at the end. I like this one. And one more transition here. After all this, it's now time to have the preview in full screen before exporting it. Play it. Well, the preview is expected to be a bit blurry. Here comes the title, followed by the transition, then Microsoft's update history page, then another transition, then to this Windows getting that very update. Another nice transition and concluding template. I love it. I would like to change the transition at this place with this one. I am now set to export it. The name should be Slimmed Windows 11 Getting Update, because that's all it's showing, right? The rest of the settings are just fine. Hit export and it starts right away. Production is now complete. Let's see the output, shall we? Open file location. And here we have it. Let's play it full screen. Well, it is much better than the preview, obviously. While having PowerDirector and 3 more apps, and of course recording this video, the RAM usage is 3.1 GB. Well, that's remarkable, to say the least. Just to remind you once again, this is actually Windows 11 25H2, which just received the latest Windows update, and its processor is Pentium 4, and it only has got 4 GB of RAM in it. What more can we ask for from such an old PC? To be honest, preparing this video was not that easy. I have encountered some problems that were lessons. It was unavoidably time-consuming as well. Here are the problems I faced and how I solved them. To my surprise, MS Edge was one of the resource heaviest on this PC, so I had to keep a maximum of 6 open tabs if needed. Multitasking was not a problem while playing media, handling documents in MS Office, and social media activities. Multitasking was sluggish with multiple apps, so I had to keep a maximum of 5 apps at a time if needed. Again, multitasking was almost impossible if Windows Update was downloading and or installing, so I had to restrict the Windows Update time. And resource-heavy apps like Photoshop and PowerDirector performed much better after I did some changes within those apps' preferences. Even so, multitasking with one of them open was sluggish. Running resource-heavy apps like Photoshop and PowerDirector alone while closing other apps enhanced their performance. Wireless activities and attached peripherals took their share of PC resources, putting stress on the performance, so I minimized them when not needed. The other problems I witnessed is I do not know actually if it is its own problem or not. The built-in snipping tool repeatedly crashed while recording this video, especially while doing with Photoshop and PowerDirector. So I had to install another screen recorder, which worked fine. To be honest again, I would say if conditions are right, adding another 4 or preferably 8 GB RAM would make marked performance boost. With this 3-part mini-series, it's clearly evident that if proper steps are taken, Windows 11 can be installed, optimized, and smoothly run on low-end PCs without any problem. I strongly believe you would try Windows 11 on your old PC before selling it off or throwing it away. And I can confidently say your old PC can smoothly run Windows 11. I hope you have benefited. Thank you for your company.